Alright, so for my group's study abroad, we decided to go to Germany. So I will be showing you our Google Maps plan of just the main things that we're going to go and visit and learn about while we are going over to Germany. So, starting off our trip, we will be starting in Boone, North Carolina at our lovely Appalachian State University. And to get to our flight, we will be going to Charlotte Douglas International Airport, which is only about 2 hours away driving. So we will have to take a group bus or vans, but it is not too far of a drive, and this is the main international airport in North Carolina. So good thing it is not that far. So from Charlotte Douglas, we will have about a 8-hour and 45-minute flight across the Atlantic to Munich International Airport, which is the main international airport in Germany and located just north of the city of Munich, which you can see is right there below us. So we will land at Munich International. Then the first thing we want to do is just go and check into our hotel. We're staying at the Hotel Deutsche Eck. This is only about a 30-minute to an hour drive from the airport, located right in the middle of the city, and good access to all the different places that we want to get to. And it's in not a bad place of town, so that always helps. Then, once we get checked in to our hotel, we are going to spend the rest of our day, what we have left, going to see the St. Michael München Church, which is the largest Renaissance church north of the Alps, and it's only about a 20 to 30 minute walk from the hotel, so it's a good place to just stretch your legs after having a day of travel and trying to get out and just explore a little bit on the first day. Make sure you're using all your time effectively. So this church has a lot of old historical architecture that is very beautiful and that we can learn a lot about. And it's a good welcome to getting used to the new culture and history of the area that we're going to be exploring together. So after the first day, we will return to the hotel and we will start our following day at lunch. We will be going to the Stadion an der Schleimer, which is a sports bar, and we'll be getting food there and just having a good time, getting accustomed to the people and the different culture surrounded by all their sports fans. As you can see the pictures on the right, I'll scroll through. It looks like your typical sports bar. It's got flags flying and signs, so it definitely should be a good, open, welcoming experience. And I feel like us as students, especially coming from App, majority of us are very strong football fans and we enjoy our sports. And so I think this will be a good opening, bonding experience with the people of Munich as outsiders. So next, we'll take a quick bus ride south to the Endless Staircase, which is an artistic creation next to the Deutsches Museum. The Deutsches Museum is large and it's a transportation museum with like old cars and buses, and then they have different artworks such as this Endless Staircase, which you can see pictured here on the right. And the staircase gives off a optical illusion, but it is a very cool piece of art, and I think it would be a good cultural experience because you can't fully understand a culture until you see their history, their art, music, how they spend their time, and try to get fully involved in all the different ways. So following the Endless Staircase and the Deutsches Museum, we will go to what is called the Toy Museum Munich. Now, this building is an old town hall, and it served as the town hall until the year 1874, and it is located right off of Munich Central Square. Now, this town hall was representing City Council in Munich, Bavaria, Germany. And the Old Town Hall bounds the central square, like I said, so it should have street vendors, good history, and architecture surrounding it. And you can see a few different pictures of the museum. So following the toy museum in Munich, we'll take another short bus ride over, where we will arrive at the Alter Südfriedhof, which is a historical grave site from the year 1563, when it was established by the Duke Albrecht V, and this was actually a plague cemetery. So definitely not the strongest, happiest, lighthearted way to end our day, but it is very meaningful, and I think it really helps you understand the history behind the city and its people and where they've come from and what they've made it through, which is very heart-throbbing and can tug at your heartstrings. But I think this experience would be very beneficial to all of us, since we don't really have something like this in America, or at least in North Carolina, where we are from. So that will end our next day, and we will go back to our hotel. And the following day, we will be going to the Technical University of Munich. Now, this is a public research university located in Munich. However, it specializes in engineering, technology, medicine, and applied and natural sciences. So kind of what you would expect of a higher education school. It offers many different career paths and education paths that you can take. And very similar to Appalachian State, we have multiple programs, or a long list of programs that you can study from. And so by visiting this university, we hope to gain a better understanding of how our educations and studies compare to one another, where our strengths and weaknesses lie, and maybe even try to make a connection that we could work on future research projects and other study abroad trips together, and maybe get some of their students to come visit us in Boone. So after going to the Technical University of Munich, we will make a short trip over to the Munich Olympic Stadium. Now, this stadium was the main venue for the Summer Olympics in the year 1972, and it is located in a area that they call Olympia Park, which is, of course, right on the outside of Munich. However, right across the street from the Munich Olympic Stadium is the BMW headquarters. So this is just a short walk. It's only about 5 to 10 minutes away. And while we're already there, I know most of us could find something interesting to learn at the BMW headquarters. BMW has become a name in America, and you see them all over the road. And so seeing the building that has been the BMW headquarters since 1973 would be a very eye-opening experience. Inside the BMW headquarters, they do also have a museum of history, which includes BMW vehicles from their first vehicle, which there should be a picture right here, made in 1955, all the way up to their new i8s, which is their top-of-the-line sports car. So, the next day, we will be going and exploring the Nymphenburg Palace. Now, this is Munich's western district, located outside of the city, but this was the main summer residence for former rulers of Bavaria. Pretty much, if I had to explain it and dumb it down, this would be like a nicer, larger, and older Baltimore estate located in Asheville, which we are all pretty familiar with from back in Boone. Except for this is way more historical, has way more, it's a way larger plot, and it has way more history behind it. So it's definitely an awesome site that we wanted to make sure we didn't miss out on, seeing these old buildings and architecture that just represent the culture of Germany as one. And you can see in the pictures on the right, they've got some awesome artwork, and it's a true palace, just like you would think for kings and rulers. So very eye-opening experience to go and visit this place. So sadly, that would be one of our last few days and one of the last main attractions that we wanted to end on. But we would be making our way back to the Munich International Airport the following day, and that would lead us to have a 9-hour flight back across the Atlantic to Charlotte Douglas International Airport. It was important that we had direct flights because when you have connecting flights or layovers in different cities, it can make things way more complicated. So by having a direct flight from Charlotte to Munich is definitely the easiest and most reliable way to travel. And from Charlotte, we'll have that 2-hour drive back to Boone, up in the high country at App State University. So this was just a quick look at the main attractions and sites that we wanted to go and visit, where we're going to be staying, and it just gives you a short overview of how we'll be traveling around the city, whether that be walking right across the street, like at the Olympic Stadium, or taking a bus 20-30 minutes outside of the city to view some of the historical sites